Hi, Fatima. Great job writing more essays for your IELTS preparation. Let's not waste any time and get straight into what you wrote. Some people believe that employees should stay in the same job for the rest of their lives. Others think they should switch job at least once during their career. To what extent do you agree or disagree? And here's what you wrote. The issue of whether getting a good position and holding on to it to make a living or having more than one job in a lifetime has been a controversial topic during the last few years. Okay, you know what? You're not really presenting an issue. So I think that's where the problem is. That's why I'm kind of pausing and trying to see how it needs to be rephrased. So it should be maybe the issue of whether one should get a good position and hold on to it to make a living, or have more than one job in a lifetime. So I think that's what you need, this idea of, one being a good option and one possibly not. So that's what's missing here. I think whether one should get, and then the rest of this has to be, of course, have, and so forth. I believe handing in one's resignation can lead to missing good opportunities in the professional environment, as well as putting a strain on the employers. Now, why is it putting? Can lead to missing and putting a strain. So since this is your lead verb here, this has to follow the same thing. Okay, this essay will discuss both points of view and analyze this issue using examples from European countries such as Spain and Portugal and nursing council statistics to demonstrate points and support arguments. Okay. Let's say, firstly, staying on the same job position is often a safe way to earn a living. This is due to the fact that nowadays there is a widespread unemployment and people just look for a golden parachute. Okay, here you don't want A. Furthermore, it could be said that holding the same position has its perks and benefits, from raising confidence in a specific role to moving up the ladder. Take as an example Spain or Portugal, where it is common the senior positions belong to people who have been dedicating their life to that specific job. As a consequence, it seems wise to keep the same job. Here I really feel like you need a for or a that, because it just seems not to really flow. So where it is common for the senior positions to belong to, or where it is common that the senior positions belong to. But one of those two, I think, was necessary there. All right, other than that, it was a very nice paragraph. It was clear. It was, well constructed and cohesive. So good job with that. Okay, conversely, it could be claimed changing jobs is a good way of keeping a complete, balanced working career. Okay, here I think you wanted a completely balanced. And I'm not really sure what you mean here, a completely balanced working career. It doesn't seem to be a particularly natural expression. But let's see how you explain it. This is because, no comma there, having several jobs gives perspective to employees, knowing how to adapt to new situations. Moreover, it is a way of unload from the work volume of a specific position and not to put on strain. Okay, a way of unloading from the work volume of a specific position. This, I have a question mark about this, but I'd like to see how you explain it. Take, for instance, the last figures published by the Nursing Council that showed how nurses are leaving the register, thinking about switching their job due to high stress levels and burdens they are exposed to. Okay, here I wouldn't have put a semicolon. Therefore, people find comfort when changing jobs. Okay, so now that I read the rest of the paragraph, it does make sense. I'm not sure about this then, not to put on strain. It is a way of unloading from the work volume of a specific position and not putting on additional strain or not putting on added strain, something like that. Okay, so to conclude from the arguments given, I believe having more than one job in a lifetime is a good way to enjoy the job role and to keep a good and healthy mood at work. However, it should not be forgotten that certain countries do not always offer the chances to do so, forcing people to hold to the same comma here, forcing people to hold on to the same position their entire career. Okay, so well done. It's nice. It was, like I said, it was coherent. You had good examples. So even the places that I had a question mark about, you explained them in an appropriate way. So let's look at your second task. Okay, and here it is. The bar graph above displays the figures collected by the World Health Organization pertaining to global bird flu misfortunes over a 10-year time span from 1990 to 2000. All right, the only thing I would really change here, Fatima, is the word misfortunes, which I don't really think is a synonym for casualties. So I would replace this with something else, either, using casualty, which is okay, or some other more appropriate word. Okay. In 1990 and 1991, there were registered the same amount of deaths due to bird flu at approximately 120,000. Okay, the only thing I want to change here really is the word order, so it sounds more natural in English. And let's make it the same amount of deaths due to bird flu were registered. You could start with 1990 and 1991 again. So it would be in 1990 and 1991, the same amount of bird flus, deaths due to bird flu were registered at approximately 120,000, and then that's fine. But this syntax is a little unnatural sounding. The subsequent year, the data showed a slight increase in the number of cases of bird flu, reaching 130,000, which was comparable also with the data recorded in 1993. Okay, very nice. No comments about that. It's well done. The only thing perhaps is maybe you don't need this semicolon here. I think a comma would also be fine. Between 1994 and 1996, the number of people affected by flu experienced a gradual increase as evidenced by the figures collected. There were 140,000, 145,000, and 150,000 from 1994, 1995, and 1996 respectively. The biggest number of cases was recorded between 1997 and 2000. During those 4 years, the total number of casualties due to bird flu remained constant at just over 170,000. Overall, the graph shows a steady upward trend until 1997, and then the number of bird flu casualties reached a plateau, remaining there for the last 4 years. Excellent. Really, really excellent. I mean, apart from a couple of those things that I mentioned here and somewhere here, it was really well done. Really, very well done. So good job with these. From what I saw in your email, you've got more corrections coming. So I can't wait to see them, but this was really well done. So good job, Fatima, and I will be waiting for more of your essays.